Welcome to Jets Rewind. I'm Marty Schupak. I'm in Valley Cottage, New York. I'm joined by my two very close friends, Ralph Schrager and Ray Clifford. They just broke out of the meeting at the White House with the European Union just to do this podcast. They're taking a 45-minute break. So how you doing, Ray?
Great. Right. We're just talking about what we can do to get control of this war, and everything should be good.
There you go. Ralph, how you doing? How's the hors d'oeuvres over at the White House?
Good. I just offered Putin our second string defense, and he refused.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. The We're about, I guess, 48 hours removed or a little less. The Jets played their second preseason game, and the scores don't really matter at all. But if I could get it on my phone like I had a second ago, I think it was, what was it?
31-12.
Under
30,
12.
31-12 in
Yeah.
a kind of a yawner, to be
Wasn't that
honest with you.
close.
Yeah, wasn't even that close.
Well, the funny thing is, it was basically an even game at halftime.
It
And the,
was
the Jets actually
true.
controlled the ball in the first half.
Yeah, but I don't know if I made some notes, and one of the things I said is like, I mean, how many times you're going to let a screen pass go? Like it was unbelievable. I mean, it's like and that's been driving me crazy for years. It was just brutal. I'll just give a quick assessment of the game. I made a lot of notes. I'm not going to go over all of them.
Oh, thank God. That,
Thank
that was a
God.
brutal game.
I wasn't thrilled with our starting quarterback. I wasn't thrilled with Arian Smith, though he caught some, he dropped two. One was kind of
Uh,
borderline.
Second one wasn't a drop.
Well, it was a
Mm.
miss. I was very happy with Quentin Skinner, the tall wide receiver, and Brandon Smith. I was very happy with Brady Cook. Um, I was also very happy with this guy that he was on the team last year, returning for a touchdown. Keeney
Here we go.
Nwangu.
Wonga, is that how you
I,
pronounce it?
yeah, I thought that guy's
He's
good.
good. Definitely gonna make
He's
the
gonna make
team.
the
Yeah.
team because
Yeah. Yeah.
he returns, and if you
He,
look at his history, he's returned kickoffs for touchdowns
I
almost.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and
He's been player of the week several times in
yeah,
special teams. Yeah.
and the thing is, he was out. He got injured with an Achilles one year, but he's been on like a few different teams, and every team he returns it for a touchdown. So I want to get your response. I have a few more notes, and another player I'm really high on is this Austin McNamara, our punter.
Hmm.
We really lucked out. I really believe that, and I was looking into the history of this guy. So I think Ray, we're going to start with you. Ray, you were at the bar. How was in
Yep.
Columbus? How was the showing there?
Not bad. I mean, for a preseason game, we had about 12 people, I'd say. So, just the usuals and then a couple others. So it wasn't bad. So it wasn't like last week at all because there was a lot more noise in the bar too, just in general. But
Right.
it wasn't, everybody wasn't quite as hyped up after the first quarter as last week.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
um,
All
I
right.
thought,
Go
I
ahead,
thought
Ray.
to me, I was actually not disappointed in how we weren't quite as good. I wanted the Jet fans have their expectations brought back a little bit to earth after last week. The talk was kind of over the top at times. And
Yeah,
I've drank that Kool-Aid too many times to fall for that.
Well, let's say
But
that, Ray. You're our voice of reason on this show.
that's true.
yeah, that's scary right there. But as far as the game goes, yeah, I didn't. It was hard to say much about Justin Fields. He didn't play great, but Tippmann, if you notice, had almost two in a row, really bad snaps above his head, and they broke up the timing on those plays completely. So, I can't say it was all on Justin. He wasn't sharp, but then again, this is a way better defense he faced than he will
Right.
face against Green Bay too.
Ray, I just want to interrupt you for a second. If you
Yep.
watched the whole game, I didn't know who was in the second half. at center, but there were a couple more hard
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
snaps.
Brady Cook had a bad one too, I
Yeah,
remember.
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least one. I mean, the whole game was like that. Go ahead, Ray. Anyone stand out to you?
I will say this about Tippmann. He had the two high snaps, but then when I saw, I didn't realize that was him. He has definitely put on weight, which I like. I thought he looked much more like a center, and I think it showed in our run game there early on when it was against their top D. I thought we ran the ball well. The passing, I knew as soon as Arian Smith dropped that pass, I said, "Oh, Marty's done. He's off. He's not."
That's it.
But the second one, and this is my main complaint, and I know it's a preseason game, so I didn't care about score, I didn't care about wins, but they missed three very obvious pass interference calls against the Jets where the receiver got hit early. And my complaint with that wasn't that, oh, we got screwed or anything. The complaint was this is preseason and all the snaps you can get help. And every one of those killed a drive, and it pissed me off. Right out, the first two were very obvious. The
Wait,
Arian Smith,
are you saying they committed against Jet receivers?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
go
The
ahead.
very first one, the very first drive, the guy clearly hit, and I can't remember which receiver it was early. And the announcers for the Giants obviously were saying that he made a good play, but then you see the replay, he clearly hit him early. The second one, same thing. The third one, Arian Smith looked a lot closer, but when you saw it, all three of them got hit before the ball got there. And I think that's why the second one looked like a drop until I saw the replay. And I said, no, he got his arm in there. He hit him early. He still could have caught it, but it wasn't like he just plain dropped it. The first one was a horrible drop. And right after that, Pritchett dropped one too,
He
just as
did.
bad. Two in a row that killed a drive. All in all, I
The
think the
worst
running,
drop was in the fourth quarter. I don't know if you guys stayed to watch the whole game. They have a guy, Pokey Wilson.
On the corner of the end zone,
Not only no, there was another play going over the middle,
Oh,
right in
right.
his chest. Brady
yeah.
Cook laid it in there, and it
Then
bounced right off.
Well, those
yeah,
was that the same guy who got the fade in the corner of the end zone and he couldn't come down with it? It was
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
nice
yeah.
play.
yeah. He's
Now,
not.
my one complaint about the defense was, and it was on that Russell Wilson bomb for 80 yards. And if you watch the replay, the safety screwed it up. He
Yeah,
ran
my
up.
guy Andre
Figures
Cisco. Ugh.
Figures had to stop his coverage smartly. But Cisco comes up and it's not like he's not ready to foul him. So then he gets up there and he has to hesitate. And that gave him he put him like two or three steps behind right off the bat, and he never caught up to him to like the half-yard line.
Right,
So that was the one play on defense that really bugged me because that safety, he need to play that differently one way or the other. Either let Stiggers stay on him or cover the guy that he interfered with coverage on.
right. Ralph. Oh, go ahead, Ray.
No,
Whatever.
that was my main
Okay.
issue
And,
with it.
Stiggers, as we know, Ralph had him pinpointed last year. So, Ralph, give me your initial reaction to the game, then we'll get in a little deeper.
Well, yeah, I would have liked to have seen them keep the first team offense out for another series. I just don't think they're gonna have one more game and then 2 weeks off, and so obviously Fields didn't look very comfortable. I mean, two series. A lot of times quarterbacks take a while to get going. I don't know that Fields is the answer. I sure as heck would rather see him than Tyrod Taylor, just from an excitement standpoint. He just might be a bridge quarterback, but I thought the running game was decent. The blocking early was decent. I'm still not on the Breece Hall bandwagon. I prefer Braylon Allen. I would rather see him get more snaps and let
Donovan
Breece.
Allen.
No, not
Oh,
Donovan
Braylon.
Allen.
And
Braylon Allen.
Edwards.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Um,
go ahead.
and
Braylon Allen.
yeah, and have Hall do different things, set him out wide and stuff like that, and get him wide with runs. But I don't want to see him running up the middle. He had one decent run, but
Yeah.
I don't have any faith in him. And they're not going to trade him at this point. They might in the middle of the year, but they wouldn't get much for him right now because frankly he's coming off a mediocre year. The offensive line, they go, what's his name? Dexter Lawrence wasn't playing, but they did okay with the run game. Things that bug me, Marty, Malachi Moore shoulder tackling. I've seen that a couple of times with him. The guy played for Nick Saban. He doesn't even know how to tackle. Why do we have these safeties that can't tackle? I mean, safeties are supposed to be the best tacklers on your team. It's ridiculous. I mean, I
Right.
cut.
The
I thought,
one
what?
was he the one early in the game that ran up behind the guy and just tried to like shove him down or something?
Yeah, and he ran for another thing. It was the most
Yeah.
ridiculous thing I ever saw. It was like walking in the hall when you were a student and a guy you don't like, you just give him a little elbow or shove with his shoulder. It's like, what was
Right.
the point of that? And I think he did one last week too. And I'll tell you, if he does any more, I don't want that guy. I
Oh,
think
yeah. Yeah.
Dean Clark, who's a free agent, he had a much better game than Malachi Moore. He obviously was playing later in the
Much
game.
better this week than
Yeah,
last week. Yeah.
yeah, because he had a missed tackle last week too.
Hmm.
Um, their late round picks out of the two Miami guys in the fifth round, I haven't seen anything of those guys, Barron
Right.
and the other guy. Uh, Arian Smith. Arian Smith is a project. I don't think he's, people who think he's going to sneak in and be our number two receiver this year. It's not going to happen. But I've seen in the past track guys, I mean, Warren Wells and Cliff Branch and Mel Gray. It took them a while. I don't know if he's going to make it or not. I don't think he has really good receiver instincts. He doesn't seem to track the ball well. He just doesn't. But he did make some plays. And like I said, with guys like that, if he gives you a few home runs, you'll deal with a few drops. I mean, it's the possession guys that you can't tolerate that with. Brandon Smith, this is his second year in a row. The guy makes plays. He's big, physical. I would rather see him on the team than Lazard. I don't know about you guys. I feel like though these guys they bring in that were free agents, undrafted. I feel like they're just they don't even have a chance. A lot of them, even if they
Right.
show up well. I think Quentin Skinner's going to make the practice squad, and I think he might become an NFL player in a year or two.
I think Brandon Smith, Ralph, I think he's like 26 years old.
He is. He's had some experience in the other league with your guy, buddy Martinez. I think they played together. And Brady Cook, I think he's got much more upside than Martinez, Marty.
Absolutely. I agree
Yeah,
with you after that. I mean, he started the first game and I reviewed the film again, but and Ray had said he played well. He did play well the first game, only made like one or two bad plays, but to me, he looked good. He was
yeah, he looked
I
decisive.
thought it
calm.
was
Yeah,
good
he
too.
looked
Yeah.
calm out there. Yeah,
He got the ball out fast, and they must have told him that they don't want him to take off because I think at Missouri he was a pretty good
he was a
runner.
very good runner at Missouri. He
They
wasn't
have,
not Justin Fields type, but a
right.
very good runner. Like I'd say Zach Wilson going forward type.
Yeah.
That kind of athlete. Yeah.
And during the week, apparently, I had heard that Phil Simms wrote an article on him saying that they didn't utilize his talents enough at Missouri, really, with
Uh-huh.
his supporting cast, though they had some players on that team that made the NFL. So who knows? You never know, but maybe
No,
we have
true.
something there. But Ralph, he could be the.
He
Go
did he
ahead.
tweak his ankle in this game?
Yeah, he did tweak his ankle.
Yeah.
I
So
wasn't even sure he was going to play in the first game. Yeah, to me, like, all these Jet fans wanted to get a quarterback in the middle rounds like McCord or Gabriel or who were the other ones? Oh, yeah, Quinn Ewers. I'm just as happy having this guy as a
Oh yeah,
developmental guy.
yeah.
I never liked Quinn Ewers anyway. That's a funny thing. Did you see how terrible he's been playing in Miami? Oh my God, some of the film of him is just awful. And I think to myself, why didn't Arch Manning beat him out last year? They could have won the championship if he's as good as people said. So, for people who are, pining for Arch Manning, let's wait and see on him.
Right. As my landscape has just arrived, so we're competing with the lawnmowers. But Ray, would you agree that in your mind, even though it's a small sample size, Brady Cook inched ahead of Adrian Martinez?
yeah, and I think you saw that, and that he was in there before Martinez. So I thought that spoke that he's
No,
moving
no,
up.
Martinez played before him.
I thought Cook played before him. Did he?
No,
Was he third? Okay,
Martinez
it
came
was
in.
last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
It was last.
That Cook came in. But it's the old problem, Ray, that I always said. If there's any chance a guy has potential, and I mentioned Brett Ratliff, show him like move him up with the second or first team for a series. See what he could do. Hey,
I think,
go ahead.
yeah, I think next week we might see some of that because I mean, I don't know if it's still the same thing as the old days where they're gonna let Fields go the whole first half or anything like that. But I'd like to see Cook get some time with the at least the second team, if not the as not if not the first is still in there. He shows definitely a presence in the pocket and an awareness, of what's around him. So, I think when the season starts, they may say Tyrod Taylor's going to be the backup, but I think Cook is going to actually be the number two pretty quickly if he's not right off the bat.
Yeah, I like him too. I want him to get more time. And I could see the Jets delaying a decision by saying like Tyrod Taylor isn't going to be ready for opening
He's
day,
ready.
which I think is really, really good too. Ralph, did you happen to see the play where Abdul Carter got
Got chipped by
you?
Stone Smart, yeah, and then that Okafor finished him
Blasted him
off
again.
two more times. He got up and he fell down on him. That was funny. Yeah, Carter got embarrassed about that. You could see some of his tweets trashing the Jets. Um, Stone Smart's an interesting player. He's so undersized for a tight end. I don't know what you call him. He's sort of a tweener, but he gets down the field. He seems like a nice target. Knocking that guy on his butt was kind of nice. So I don't know if he makes the team or not. What do you think?
Um, I'll be honest with you. I think, well, we think Jeremy Ruckett's going to stay, right? Just because
No, if they keep Beck and they think Beck can be a backup tight end, I
Heck, you
think.
have to keep. I love
Well,
that
then
guy.
I think Ruckert's going to go, and I think they'll keep Smart. That's my guess right now.
Yeah, I like
Did
Beck.
Beck do anything this game?
No,
Beck, no, he
but
didn't,
but Beck, I like. I love guys that like at the tail end of the play, they're still running down the field looking to make a block.
and he was
No, I
also
like it. I
he's
just
the
didn't know.
first signed by Muji. And when he's your guy, Ruckert's been here for 3 years. This is going to be his fourth year. He's done
Yeah,
nothing. I think it's
Nothing.
time.
What
Yeah,
a and it's a disappointment. And
it
Ray
is.
Ray could vouch for that
I
because
agree.
he at Ohio State, not that he made circus catches, but he made some good plays as a
Yeah.
receiver.
Yeah,
And
and he didn't get a lot of opportunities, and when he
Yeah,
did,
with all the wide receivers they had. Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's the blocking thing's great, but if Beck's a good enough blocker, he's
yeah.
more of a weapon, on the receiving end, and that's the thing. But I didn't hear his name, so I didn't know did he play even? I didn't hear his name at
I
all.
don't think he played.
I don't even think he
Was
played.
he nicked
Yeah,
up maybe?
I haven't heard
possible. Yeah,
anything. What I was going to say about Beck, though he didn't catch any balls, I love guys. He went down the field to throw a block at the tail end. He was
yeah.
like in it 100% of the time. Ray, how'd you like that pass and that catch by Quentin Skinner for a touchdown from Cook?
Oh, that was nice. I mean, and I'm not trying to get too overexcited because by the time, Cook was in there, we were in the scrub game, but it was nice throw and he shows he can make plays. So he shows he might be somebody that at the very least hang around on the practice squad and somebody
Talking
that
about Cook or Skinner?
Skinner.
Skinner,
Cook, I
Skinner.
yeah,
think
yeah,
Yeah.
Cook is definitely on the
Cook
team.
is
And
on the
I think,
53.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, Cook's definitely on. Now the thing I do worry about it is I still think we got to find a second receiver. Garrett
I,
Wilson not going to have
yeah,
much room to do anything unless we get a guy that's dangerous on the other side because
yeah.
he's just bottled up by double teams the whole time.
Got to get
And
a
he,
second receiver.
yeah,
I've been going crazy for Mari Cooper. You guys know that. Ralph, I wanted to ask you, I made a couple of notes and about guys that were active. I don't know if you agree or you saw something different. I made a note, the number 57, Kingsley Jordan in his name. Is that the guy? He was a little
Remember?
he was a little active. I guess it didn't ring a bell. And how about Rashid Weaver, number 99? He looked a little active. Did they stand out to you at all or no?
I mean, maybe a little better. I think Weaver's been around the league for a while. You'd kind of hope that he'd show a little more
Right.
playing when he's playing. I don't know. I don't have high hopes for him. I think they're actually, Marty always talking about you worry about their defensive tackles. I think their end situation is actually more of a problem. I mean, Clemens stinks. We don't know if Jermaine Johnson, what he's going to give us this year. You know,
Yep.
McDonald is real, and Barron from Miami has shown nothing so far.
Showed nothing.
So they really are thin there. Weaver, I think, might get a spot just, because they don't have anything else. But I think that's a concern.
I think you're absolutely right. It is a concern. And again, I started out the show and mentioned the screen passes were killing us. It was just absolutely crazy. I just want to bring out too. I mentioned one of the bright spots. I mentioned it last week. This punter, Austin McNamara. I did some investigating. He was actually born in California and he was brought up in Gilbert, Arizona. He's 6'4", 210, so that's a nice size for a punter. He went to Texas Tech, undrafted, and he was on the Bengals practice squad last year. When he was at Texas Tech, he was in 23, he was the Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Year, three-time first team All Big 12. So let's see. So far in two games, I mean, he's done the job as far as hang time and
Definitely, yeah.
getting the ball but inside the 20. So
Yeah.
I want each of you to give us your reaction because we really didn't want them to get rid of Morstead. So I'll start with Ray. What's your feeling about this punter, or is this just a preseason fantasy we're going through?
No, I don't. That's the one thing that the punters, it's not like you're going against the first team, second team, or any of that matters. It's how you, it's how you kick the ball, and you're going to kick it, you know, assuming you're going to kick it that way when it counts too, because I mean, you're not going against a second team defense or what have you. But the other is there even another kicker on the roster?
No, I think they got rid of
Okay,
their
so
other punter, so I think they were already
so
sold on him. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
think,
and I think Falk seems to be splitting the uprights nicely. He's going to
yeah.
get the job.
Oh yeah.
So okay, so our kicking game is shaping up a little bit. That's not bad.
Ralph, we mentioned that on that long 80-yard play, like Stiggers was kind of almost picked off. But I wanted to get your reaction to how he played and Gerard Bernard Converse.
Stiggers, I think one play early in the game was an out pattern. He looked like he was lost. He was going one way and the receiver the other. But I like the way he tackles. I remember on the first touchdown, well, after the 80-yard pass, they had a 1-yard touchdown run. If you watch, Stiggers submarined the guy and got him behind the line. He just sort of fell forward. It was a nice play. The interception was sort of a gift. I think,
Yeah.
I think there's certainly his special teams because he tackles so well. I think he'll stick. Converse, I think, made some solid He's a good tackler too. The thing about Converse is how long is he? This is his third year, and he seems to be injury prone. So I'm not
Right.
sure. I'm not sure about his future with the team because I know, GMs get tired of injury prone players. So I don't know if both of them will be there. And if I had to guess, I would say Stiggers would have a better chance.
How about you, Ray? Those two guys, Stiggers and Jared Bernard Converse. I think he went to LSU, right?
Yeah. Well, I think he
Yeah.
transferred. That was his last school was LSU. Yeah.
How many players actually stay at one school?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know anymore.
Anymore. Yeah.
When they start introducing these guys, it's going to take 10 more minutes to list all their schools.
Yeah. Ray, what were your thoughts about these two?
I didn't think they were too bad. I mean, they had their moments where like Stiggers, I thought a couple times got burned a little bit, not horribly, but he did make some good plays too. So I thought, okay, it's still, a work in progress type of thing. And we got to remember they're learning a new system on both sides of the
Right.
ball.
You think
So
of how little Stiggers has actually played in his life,
yeah.
his whole story. So, yeah,
And if you ever look at the Canadian football field, it's a lot different than
yeah,
ours.
yeah.
So you play differently on that in that
Right.
league. But they're still learning the offense. They're still learning the defense. So this team, there's gonna be a lot of ups and downs at least early in the year until that everything kind of settles in for them.
Yeah.
Because you gotta get down to the 53 so that you're not just shuffling all kinds of guys in and out. You got to get down to the guys who really are going to be out there, and then the system will maybe come together more.
I just want to bring out that I thought the Bernard Converse made one of the best plays of the game where they had a first and goal, the Giants at the
Right.
one,
Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah,
he stuffed the guy up, not just stuffed him up, but he made sure that the running back was not leaning forward. He wouldn't give up an inch.
no,
I thought that was a great play. I
So
just
what
want
are
to,
they playing him at, safety or corner now?
that's a good
Because
question. I don't even
I think
know.
he came up as a corner, and they were thinking of making him a safety. Because he's been in and out so much. He's played so little for
yeah.
them.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
you're right,
sure.
Marty. I thought the running back was gonna break his tackle and get in the end zone, and he held on and brought him down. That was nice.
It was a great play. A few things I just want to mention. I'll get your reaction. I thought Allen ran the ball very well, and as bad as I don't want to say he played bad, but Fields was not great. But in the first quarter, the Jets made a number of third down plays, converting them to first down. One they missed, but they converted on fourth down. I thought that was very, very nice. Um, let's see. Second quarter, I thought Michael Carter made a great play tackling. Ralph, you mentioned good tackles.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did good. We all know he had that lingering ankle injury, I believe, last year. So I thought he made a nice play. Um, I thought, I like Pritchard, even though he dropped the ball. I just like the way he moves, his quick moves. It's something
Yeah.
about that guy I really like.
He
Brandon
made a
Stevens has actually not looked bad at all. I have
He
to
looked
say,
good. I made
yeah,
a note of that. Yeah.
yeah, we were worried about that signing because we thought
I,
they overpaid, but so
I,
far so good. You hear good things about him in training camp too.
I
Uh,
just want to make a note that I didn't understand. I made a note. Mark Sanchez said he was one of the outstanding players for the Ravens last year, and I'm just shaking my head, saying, Mark, do some homework. I don't think he was, but that's another story. Let's see what else. Michael Carter. I said Pritchard. Uh, Martinez threw an interception, but he extended the play. It wasn't awful. It wasn't a great interception. I thought, again, it's a Jet show, but I thought that Jackson Dart looked pretty good, to be honest with you. He looked
he
very,
looked really good, and he looked good last week. But we just think back to Daniel Jones's rookie year in preseason when he tore it up. Maybe Dart will be a player. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's early. Yeah.
right.
yeah.
And I'll get your reaction in a minute. You can tell me who else stood out. I thought, again, Donovan Edwards, I liked the way he moved the ball. He got one or two first downs. Dean Clark played better. I mentioned before this Kingsley, Jordan, and Rashid Weaver. We'll see what happens with them. They got killed on the screen pass. I love the punter. So, Ray, anyone else stand out to you? Any big plays before we start to close out this session?
No, not really. I mean, probably if I went back and watched it again, I didn't. The hard part for me is because it's being the preseason, you got so many guys. I'm like, who's that guy number this or not?
Yeah, well, you got to have that roster. I have it right next to me.
I
When
Yeah.
really do. I'm waiting for the replays and trying to see the back of their jersey
yeah,
and figure out who it is. Because like Gibson, I didn't realize he changed the numbers in the first game until halfway through. I'm
He,
like,
that's
he's
right.
awful
he's not
big now.
making the team.
I
Oh, I
don't
don't
think
know,
he's making the
He's
team
not
either.
making the
Yeah,
team. He
I
but
believe
think
me.
Pritchard is. I
well,
think I think Pritchard is too. Yeah,
his number got taken by Marty's other favorite guy, Arian Smith.
Aaron Smith. Yeah, he's
Well,
making the team.
he's going to make the team. And I'll tell you,
He is.
one thing about Aaron Smith, I've been reading and hearing, this guy's a worker.
Yeah,
He's doing everything he can to get better with the jugs machine. They have him having a certain type of vision glasses at the end of practice to focus more. So look, he no doubt this guy gets open. We all saw that. He made like four catches.
Yeah.
But and I always look, I'm not comparing him, but I always go back that, Jerry Rice's rookie year, he didn't have the best hands. So let's see. I mean, I think he's going to make the team, but we'll see. And
Malik Neighbors. Then Jamar Chase had trouble in his first
Sure.
preseason too. I don't think
Didn't
he'll be as good as any of those guys because he doesn't have the frame. But no, like I said, there are track guys who, if you work with them, they'll give you some explosive plays. I don't think he'll ever be a great hands guy, but If he can
I
just
think he
live,
dropped the first pass that thrown to him, didn't he?
yeah.
And then he made catches
And then he
after
made
that.
He
catches, so
made
that's good.
catches.
So
That was
he's mentally tough enough to not to just shrug that off.
The
Okay,
guy
yeah,
gets open.
yeah,
And like I said last week, I thought one of the best plays, it wasn't a completion, but Martinez just missed him long down the left sideline and he laid out his body
yeah.
like, like it was a Super Bowl. It's great seeing. So I think he's making an effort. And despite Ray, what you say that, I say cut the guy, he's going to be on the team. I just
yeah, he
hope he
is.
develops.
Nobody,
I do too. We
I,
all do.
I
yeah,
think they overdrafted him. But let's see what happens.
yeah, they panicked because a couple of the speed receivers got picked right before him, and they wanted to get one guy that had speed, and they probably
Yeah.
figured, he was going to be gone. But
Right.
who
So
knows?
a-
You never.
a- any other player or play that stand out in the Nuka
Zaire
Bowl?
Barnes, I think he's done for with the Jets. I'm afraid. I kind of liked him when he first came up, but I don't know. It just seems like he's getting lost in the shuffle. He's not one of Muji's guys, so I think he'll probably be moved. I don't know off the top of my head.
Nobody stood out, but I mean, is no, not Allison, I'm blanking on his name. The Our new middle linebacker from last year,
Sherwood.
Sherwood?
Sherwood. Is he, is he doing much?
I
I
don't
mean, I'm
think he
not saying he's
played.
doing anything bad, but
I don't think he played much. I think Quincy actually was in there too. I think, but they didn't
Quincy
do
played.
once
much.
he was
Yeah.
in there early, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I'm not worried about those
I'm
guys.
not
no,
worried
I
about
mean,
the
they're there.
linebackers too, and I think who's the guy, the former number one draft pick, Jamin, whatever. I think he
Oh, Davis. Yeah.
yeah, he I think he was a little better. The first game he was awful. So I think the last game is actually Friday, so you don't have to wait that long.
It's Friday against Philly, and
Friday.
when they used to have four preseason games, the fourth game was a joke. You just play third
Yeah,
stringers the whole game. But
yeah,
now they're going to play. They had to play some of their starters because that would be like how many 3 weeks until their next
yeah,
game. If they don't, that's too long.
Right.
yeah.
I
I
agree.
And,
want,
and I know that Glenn says you can't run away from injuries. We're gonna play these guys. So I'd like to see him play them at least two or three series.
Now,
I was wondering if they were going to do the half a game thing so they could do
Yeah.
the sit in there in the locker room and come out and do
Oh,
one
right.
right.
series
Yeah.
at the third. And I don't know if they'll do it now though.
I want to give it a little more kudos. I'm trying to temper my excitement, but I think it was the first play of game was the play action with Fields. It was a rollout, and he threw the ball to our tight end Mason Taylor.
Yeah.
Want to give kudos to Tanner Angstrom, the offensive coordinator. From what I've seen so far, I like what I see. I like the motion. I like the
Yeah.
change of
Considering he's not
pace.
going to show most of his stuff
Right.
anyway at this
No,
point.
he's going
Yeah.
to keep it vanilla. So
Yeah.
far, I think it's so good, and we'll see. And did Clemens, did he play? I don't think he
He
played.
played. Yeah, he did.
It-
I saw him in there. Yeah.
No,
okay.
no fights or
He did anything.
penalties. Wow. How
I
did
don't know
that
if he did
happen?
anything, but he was in there.
Okay. There you go.
You
So,
didn't recognize it because he was wearing a shirt.
all right. So with that, we're going to close this out as we get through the second preseason game. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, Schupak Sports, and keep in mind this is also heard on, and well, you're listening to it, so obviously all platforms, including Apple Podcast and Spotify. So anything else, guys? Any last word at all? Let's go
No.
Mets. Huh?
Oh
No.
boy. What do they got? A two-game
Oh,
winning
yeah.
streak. Yeah, yeah.
So
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
can't believe they're still in a playoff position. It's amazing.
Yeah. Technically,
Yeah.
they're four and
Did,
a
did,
half
did
last
you
while.
did you hear the new nickname for Juan Soto?
What?
They call him Juan Solo because
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
three
I know.
quarters of his home runs
I
are like
know. I
no men
know.
on base.
It's not good. I know. And
Somebody's got to get on base for it to be more than a solo. They
And
can't
that
do it.
now the latest rumor was circulating that now they question whether he's only 26.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's just a rumor, but again, you
Oh,
didn't hear it here. So, all right, for Ralph Schrager, for Ray Clifford, Marty Schupak, and Jets Rewind from Schupak Sports. Until next time.